Okay, we've got about another 30 seconds before it's actually 6 PM, and I don't want to be hauled at someplace for starting the hearing a little too early, so just give us a couple more minutes here, and I've got 6. Okay. I think we're ready to go. We have a public hearing, to present a transfer of liquor license and the pledge of liquor license to Rockland Trust from Brusso Liquors Mart, Inc., correct?
Yes.
And we have an attorney here. Could you introduce yourself and we can begin? You can do
it.
wherever you're comfortable, sir.
Okay. If it pleases the board, my name is Arthur Perlman. I represent Vijay Patel and 15 Exchange, Inc. They're seeking to transfer the package store license that's currently held by Brusso Liquor Mart, Inc. for the premise at 15 Exchange Street in Barre. And we're requesting a pledge of that license to Rockland Trust, which is financing the purchase of that business. Published notice of this hearing was done by the town. Mailed notice to abutters is not required for a transfer of license. 15 Exchange, Inc. is a Massachusetts corporation. Vijay Patel is the sole officer, director, and shareholder. She's currently living at 380 Cross Street in Winchester. She has owned and managed a business located in North Reading, which has a beer and wine license. David Barstow will be the manager of that business, and he'll be spending at least 40 hours a week at that business. Mr. Barstow lives in Methuen, Massachusetts.
You guys are traveling a long way.
I know, but usually you end up moving. People do that a lot. Travel a while and then they decide they better move closer.
That's a long way.
He has owned his own business until 2021. He is currently training for this business at Andy's Liquors in Wakefield. We request the business to be operated at 15 Exchange Street to be open 7 days a week. We're requesting hours of 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Saturday, and Sunday 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The layout of the store will be as per the floor plan that I submitted with the application.
Would you know what the hours of operation are currently?
I was gonna ask that. Is it that late on Sundays?
That's just very early.
You know, again, I've owned liquor stores besides for being an attorney. I find that the public kind of causes us to modify our hours as we do it. I had one store that was waiting. We ended up opening at 10 in the morning and closing at 8 and 9 at night. Because the public just kind of told us what they want. We like to see what the public wants first. And if they want it, then we'll give it to them. We're willing to work. But as you don't need it, you cut it back. Both Vijay and David have already been in the liquor business, so they are familiar with the law relative to sale of alcohol. Additionally, both Vijay and David have their TIPS training. I think I submitted that to you with their certifications. They will uphold, obviously, the statutory law. If there's any specific rules or regulations that the town of Barre has, they will learn those, and they will make sure they comply with those as well. So I would respectfully request that the approval of a transfer of a license held by Brusso's Liquor Mart, Inc. be approved for 15 Exchange, Inc. at 15 Exchange Street, as well as a pledge of the license to Rockland Trust.
Okay. Any member of the board have questions? Chief, you're here. This is the chief of police. Is 8 a.m. a little early?
Like you said, I guess it all depends on what the public wants.
Is 11 p.m. Okay? I mean, is that typical for our community?
Yeah, I think so. I think, I
Okay.
want to say the marketplace on the commons open till 11, I believe.
Okay. Okay. Well, any other questions?
Tammy, are there any specific background checks? Tammy?
Sandy.
Sandy, Tammy. I don't know if you've done the background checks or if Sandy would have.
Whatever was submitted.
Yeah,
Okay.
we submitted a
The
story.
yeah, the Sunday.
Okay, we have the query checks. Okay, that's,
Yes,
yeah.
those are in there.
Okay,
Okay, then I would accept a motion to accept the request of the individuals who are here this evening for the hearing.
I would move for the, let me make sure I have this right, transfer of liquor license and the pledge of liquor from, 15 Exchange Street Incorporated from Brusso's Liquor Mart Incorporated, and a pledge of liquor license to Rockland Trust.
Is that correct? Is that's
Okay.
the correct motion? We have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded for the transfer of the liquor license as requested. Those in favor? Aye. It's a vote.
Okay, and the pledge was approved?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Would you prefer us to do a separate vote for the pledge?
No, as long as it's included, as long as you.
It was included.
That's fine. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
You're very welcome. Drive slow,
Thanks.
but the chief's here, so don't worry.
Thank you.
He's on his way to where quickly. Okay, moving on to, we have anyone here for public comment? Okay, seeing none, let's move on to the approval of meeting minutes. We have a number of meeting minutes to approve. We have one set of minutes will be approved, but not for release due to executive session. March 25th,
I move to approve the March 25th meeting minutes for release.
we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes for March 25, 2004. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 I move to approve the April 1st, 2024 open session meeting minutes for release.
We have a motion made
This
to,
but not for release?
No,
This is open session.
this
for
is open
release.
Oh, the
session,
open
we'll
session.
we'll be releasing those. This is the open session meeting minutes for April 1. We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the April 1st, 2024 open meeting section for April 1st. Those in favor?
Aye.
We have now the review of April 1st, 2024 executive session. These are not for release.
I move to approve the April 1st, 2024 executive session meeting minutes, not for release at this time.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the April 1st, 2024 executive session. That was for negotiations purposes. That's why we were in executive session at that time. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, April 4th, we have a set of meeting minutes for that. I think that's a very brief meeting.
I move to approve the April 4th, 2024 meeting minutes for public release.
We have a motion made and
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the the April 4th open meeting minutes for April 4th. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it looks like we've got to take care of all of that. We've got okay, is there anyone here who is here for a specific item later on the agenda that we could accept something quick that we could take care of? If not, let's move on to Town Administrator Report. Jamie?
Yep,
You must have a lot. You've had a lot of meetings.
I got a pile for you. So first I'm gonna send this out to you. I had a finance meeting with the town accountant, treasurer, and the assessor. So I'm gonna hand out these for you to look at. So that's from the town accountant. What that is it shows where our local receipts are. This can all be found in the Division of Local Services. So this is for March of 2024, and if you look back, like the second page, it's June 30th, the end of the fiscal year of '23. So you'll see that we're pretty close to where we were. Hopefully, I'm hoping we're gonna see even more come out, but at least we're pretty close with our local receipts.
Too close.
Too close. I'd like to see higher.
Yeah. Too close.
But, at least we're not really low, so
Mhm.
I'm hoping that we'll be seeing these every month when I have these meetings with them, so.
Just as we talk about receipts, all of you who are into watching what the House of Representatives is doing, it's cutting local aid, it's cutting rural school aid when compared to the governor's budget. This is not good news for us people
No.
at all. We don't, cutting local aid for the towns is difficult, but cutting rural aid for the school and the town is tough. That's our
That's very
biggest
tough.
bill, and I would just tell you that the school folks are all over that. I'm hoping that we will see that doubled, because they took 15 million that the governor had allocated and cut it to 7 million. And that is bad news for rural schools, bad news. And they also failed to fund regional school transportation aid fully, only funding it to 84%. Bad news for schools. If it's bad news for schools, it's bad news for municipalities. So Mass Municipal is on this. Certainly, the regional school people are on it. And I would say that Tammy and I are going to a meeting on the 27th of April about rural schools, rural aid for, put on by Mass Municipal, so that'll be helpful. We have a brand-new senator, Senator Durant. I'm hoping he's on this. He was not on the legislative call that I was on. His aide showed up, but he did not, and Representative Berthium. So we will be nagging and complaining to those two individuals as much as we possibly can. But I'm worried because
Yeah, me too.
we don't have a lot of revenue from the state, and when you don't have a lot and it's halved, it's very bad news for us.
All right, so to go on, each one of them said a little something. The treasurer had an estimated of 51,000 of two properties. They were by auction. One was on Summer Street and one was on North Brookfield Road, so that is some funds that were taken in. He also mentioned that the auditors are working very thorough with him and the accountant. And also was mentioned he was mentioning the tailings of the checks. I don't know if anyone knows what
The what?
the tailings of the checks. I think I had mentioned this to you, Maureen. What this means is it's all the tailings are the uncashed checks. So it's very important that this gets done for a timely reconciliation of all bank accounts. If this has not been done in years, so this is something that Jake is planning on doing and fixing up, so we end up having, a more
Accurate picture.
Yes, because if we don't do this, it minimizes the liability posed by uncashed checks and associated negative impact on our cash position. So we need to know what we actually have in those accounts. Very important. So in order for him to do this, he has to do a publish of listing of all the uncashed checks. Checks that are not claimed are reported, and the treasurer will mention to the town accountant, and then that will help our revenue be increased and the liability can be eliminated. So that's it's a plus, him working on that. And lastly, our assessor has been working very diligently on capturing new growth. As of right now, up to date, he has captured an estimate of $1.2 million, and he's been getting a lot of that. He's doing home inspections, realtor.com, etc. And also in my packet after the fact, we can go ahead, we have an over surplus in the allowance and abatements, and I'm going to ask that the board sign to see if we can release some of those funds, because we don't need that much in there. Technically, it's the assessor's account, but they have 10 days to respond to us with the select board asking to release
So
some
are
of
you
those funds.
asking us to vote to produce such a letter?
You can vote, and then I'll need you to sign that letter.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and vote. 'cause I'm going-
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, she has the
Anyone
letter.
I'm happy to make that motion, but.
Yes, it's very important
That we,
that we don't just have those funds just tied up there.
the motion would be to ask this assessors to release a portion to be determined by them in
Yes.
conjunction with us
Yep,
of
there's
receipts.
the letter if you want to
Okay.
read the letter.
Okay,
You can
you
read that.
respectfully request that the Board of Assessors close all excess accounts in the allowance and abatement exemption accounts to the overlay surplus account. This is typical, it's generally done in all
So
towns.
normally, most Board of Assessors does not have a large sum of funds in those accounts.
Yeah.
An assessor needs about 75,000. It's basically for write-off programs, abatements, exemptions. So we have an abundance in there, so a lot more than 75,000. So with that being said, they would have to look at their accounts and then
Are they
like
double or triple that?
triple.
They're triple what is typical, okay.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing.
That is a good thing, so we might need it down the road, so.
So if we have a motion?
I think you already made the motion.
Oh, okay, if you're happy,
I'll second
if
it.
you're happy with the chair making a motion, I'm good with that. We have a motion made and seconded to ask the assessors to consider the release of some funding from the allowance and abatements account.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion made and seconded, so moving on, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so you can send that letter along
Yep, just need your
And
signatures.
keep our fingers
I need
crossed.
to sign it.
and hope for the best.
And then I'll send it
Can you
off to
sign
the
that?
Board of Assessors. Okay, next, so I've been working with the town clerk. She had brought to my attention about security assessment. Security assessment, she's working with the Secretary of Commonwealth's Office and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure of Security Agency. With that being said, at first it was going to be just for where the poles are, the senior center and here. So I had asked, could we actually have a security feasibility study done at, for example, fire, police, DPW. And I went down there, I spoke with Sheila, she ended up being on the phone, and she said, absolutely, we could actually do that. And we could even add schools as well to that. So I was like, that's a win-win for us. So
This is free?
this is free. This is free, doing this security assessment. And I think it's really important that we do all of our buildings, just to see where we're at. And also, after that feasibility study comes in, we can actually go for grants, and they will help us. So, very important also, and I think it's, like I said, a win-win. And if, I know, Maureen, you have a lot of, maybe you can mention the schools too, if this is something they were also interested in, we can go ahead and go down there. Like I said, I'll be working really closely with the town clerk on this.
And what does this include?
So it's a feasibility study for security. So it includes like looking and seeing what we have for
I
cameras.
asked, and he's that.
Oh, there you go, yep. Cameras, the buildings, are they safe, are they secure, what measures would we need to take into effect? It's basically gonna give us a recommendation as to what types of security we may need for our different types of buildings that we have, depending on what, they do, what they don't do, et cetera. Like, for example, the COA, it's for the poles. Technically came across as that, but then I was like, oh, let's see if we can get a little bit. And so me and Ellen will be doing that together, working really closely.
Great.
And
Great.
I'm really excited about this. It's a good thing.
I'm glad you're excited about that.
I am. I like all these little projects, so. My next one is going to be about Barre Old Reservoir Dam.
Oh.
Jennifer Doyle Breen has reached out, and I guess there's some more they're developing some more additional information to share with us. And she would like to have a meeting either late
Great.
May or June.
Great.
I was thinking, so Sandy and I we were looking at the calendar, and we were thinking maybe Wednesday, June 5th or 6th, then I could reach out to her. You guys can always get back to me with the time
Well,
you
my
wanna
only
think about
concern is
it.
we are days before town
I
meeting.
know, and that's what you're talking
And
about
I really
that.
worry about the amount of work we're gonna
I
have
know,
to get ready
I
for
know.
town meeting on the 11th, right?
It's gonna be on the 11th.
So,
Something that we can think about. We don't need a day right
Okay.
now, but
I know that the people involved in this, matter, though, are very interested in us
Yes.
pursuing and continuing to work with the
Yes.
state, so we can make certain that we give them a lot of lead time so that
absolutely. We
they
can
can.
even see if we can postpone it a little after too, if you wanted to.
Well, I don't know if this would be better to do before town meeting, where we may need to have an article
good-
regarding it
Oh,
at
yeah,
town
good
meeting.
idea.
That's
John.
true.
Good idea.
That's true.
So maybe we should do it in May,
And then have time to make sure we have the proper articles for town meeting for
Yeah.
it.
yeah, good idea.
So, do you want me to reach out and try to get one for May? A
Yeah, yes,
time
yes, if you
schedule?
can.
If you can.
When are you doing the public hearing? for
May
the-
22nd will be the public
So
hearing.
would you want it before or after?
Well, the May
Has to be
6th,
before.
it'd have to be before, May 6th will be,
Some poll hearings though,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
do May 6th.
May
I think there's
6th
some
is our
poll
next
hearings.
meeting.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I can't, well, why don't you see what you can set up and.
Let me see what she has for,
Yeah.
I'll check what
Mhm.
she has for the week of May 6th. How's
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
And we can see.
okay.
The next one is, so we've been reaching out to some park representatives. I actually have 2 proposals that I've received back, which I'm gonna send out this one. Hand them all down. This is the first one, this one's from Compan, and these are all on the statewide contract list, so we don't have to do the bidding. You can look at the first part, you can see it says Massachusetts State Contracts, Site Work, and Services. The first one's for like the demo, so if we end up having someone do the demo, I would assume we wouldn't have to pay that $38,000 some odd dollars. And then I highlighted for you on the next page, page 3, what the amount was.
This is with us doing, with them doing everything?
That's
Oh.
what I'm getting from it, yep, except for if you
Okay.
want, it would either be this plus the other amount, or if we end up doing the demo, because I know Mark had said
Yeah.
we'd probably do the demo. And I was thinking maybe we could set a time for her to come on in, do her presentation. I think we should listen to all the presentations that we have, so if you could give me a day for that too.
And I mean, I know that their presentations are, I know you've spoken with them about
Mhm.
the need for a very impressive. We want to see it.
Yes, and I also liked, if you look on the last, or second to last, I think it's the last.
Yeah, you
page,
see a little
it even gives
schematic.
like a little,
Yeah.
a little diagram as to what it would somewhat look like.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, looks like good news. And we have another one too that's coming?
yeah, we have another one, and then you guys can let me know what dates you would want. So I'm just gonna hand this around, you guys can pass it down, because it's 60 pages, so I don't wanna waste all the paper, it's on both sides. You can just look at it real quick, and actually, this is the prices, let me hand it down to you. You'll see what the overall cost is, the play structures that he's gonna be including, playhouse, teeter-totter, tells everything that the price includes.
And we're all ADA compliant, and they did the walkways with whatever?
As far as I know, yes, but
Okay.
again, we should definitely mention it when they
Right.
come and do their presentations. Definitely
Okay.
good questions to ask.
Okay.
I believe you said we're hoping for one more.
I have one more that we're
This is
waiting
just
for, yeah.
basics, and this is the big.
But I think we should
all
maybe
of this
set these
stuff.
up and just
Set
see
them
what
up
they have to
before.
offer, what we have few.
That's the
Mhm.
second
You
one.
know, if you want, I
Yeah,
can
this goes
set them
with this.
up.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. We have a zero max out of 200, so we should be good.
And you guys can keep that 60 page.
Okay,
one.
that's Doug's, we'll keep that, okay.
So that's all I have, but when do you want me to set up presentations for?
Well, I mean,
as
I know we
soon
have
as
one
possible?
other one coming.
Yep,
I mean, sooner rather than later.
right, okay, so
It doesn't, we don't
any
have to wait till
days-
our next meeting, we could just set something up.
Right, any preferable days or not good days, times?
It will not be, whatever we get, it won't be, there'll still be people
All right,
complaining.
so like
If
Tuesday,
we-
Wednesday,
Yeah.
I don't think-
Thursday?
I'm assuming Tuesdays are gonna be challenging with.
Oh, yeah, finance, we got
Finance
Tuesday,
committee.
you're right, I can't do that.
Probably Thursdays would be preferable for me, but I'm fine
Thursday?
with making whatever work.
All right, so I'll aim for Thursdays, and then if I end up getting Wednesday, sorry.
Yep, no, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, and we're gonna do it like 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish.
Yeah, is 5:30 good for everyone, or,
Well, if we're gonna
6
do
o'clock.
3
Six?
presentations.
Oh, there's three, yeah.
I'll do one at a time, I'll do them different days, I don't think we should have, do you want them all on the same day?
Well, I don't really want them all on the same day, but it's really gonna be hard to get three
Yeah,
whole
I would say
days.
1 and 1,
Yeah, so I think they have to be like consecutive
so
days.
maybe Wednesday, Thursday I'll try for, see what I
Yeah.
can
You
get.
could even do a Friday too.
Oh, yeah, I can do
Yeah.
Fridays if you're all good with Fridays.
Fridays are fine.
Nothing I'd rather do.
And that's all I have.
No, I'm really excited about this, so
Me too.
and people have to understand, and it's hard because there will be some people who love number 1, some people who love number 2, some people who love number 3, and somehow, I guess it's gonna be the responsibility of the 3 of us to figure out which one of it it's gonna be, or which mix of all 3 it's gonna be, trying to keep as many people and as many children active and interested and a place to play. Because it's really a big project, and we want to make sure that the public has a say. But, there are people who say, well, I don't care what they say, I don't want to have wood chips. Well, it's the law that says you have to have a particular kind of wood
Right.
chips. You can't put pea stone. So if you want to fight with me about pea stone, you can't get a playground. Okay, so we have to just make sure everybody understands that in order to comply with ADA, in order to comply with the safety regulations and how many feet between events and all of that, we have to pretty much understand that we can't do exactly what each person wants. Because people were asking us to do,
I think we summed up a lot, though, by listening to what everyone wants, with like the swings.
yeah, I think we
and
did
stuff
too,
like that.
but
So I'm
still,
hoping
you,
that- I know.
okay,
I know.
okay. It'll be, people will just go, everybody will go, number 2, and we'll be done. We can only hope, huh?
Yep.
I mean, it looks right now, everybody's in the same financial ballpark, so that's a good
Yes,
thing.
I did like that.
Okay, Tammy, what you got else?
That's it.
Okay, I got one thing for you. I know that you have asked, as I told everybody, she's like the CFO. She's really into the whole financial management. So she has asked our auditors who are currently in here to really get down and dirty, and anything and everything they see, nail us. So we expect that the audit we will get, because Tammy says, I wasn't here last year, so it doesn't count. What she wants is clear direction, okay, what haven't we done well? and what should we do in order to improve that, whether it be, the way in which we do, I don't know, named stuff. I mean, I'm just excited that we are on the hunt for the perfect audit.
Me too.
And she has guaranteed me, this time next year, she's gonna be smiling, because we are gonna have a much
A better one. Can't promise perfect, though.
Oh, not yet, right?
No.
But anyway, so I just wanted to commend you for the work that you've done,
Thank you.
and your, I guess, your willingness and courage to say, look, if it's bad, tell me. And if it's really bad, tell me. Don't put things, because, we don't want a wonderful audit report when it's really not wonderful.
No, I don't.
So, thank you for that, Tammy, and I know you've put a lot of extra work in just trying to keep track of where the money is this week, so thank you. We also have, do we have any select board reports?
Yeah, so this one's fresh in today. A little while ago, we all signed a letter to put in our interest for a municipal digital equity planning program, along with the towns of Hardwick, New Braintree, North Brookfield, and West Brookfield. And we just found out today that our application's been accepted. So we're still looking into what those next steps are, but we'll be working with CMRPC
Great.
to move that grant along and work on some digital equity aspects for the town and
Sounds
the
good.
region.
Great, good. Anything, Mark?
Yeah. I spoke to Tammy about this, actually. Looks like we got, like another $123,000 from the rural roadway. This came out last,
Chapter 90?
Chapter 91.
Great.
I didn't, yeah.
Good
that's-
news.
I don't know, you were aware of that, John? Did you? This was
I
on-
haven't seen the exact number for
Yeah,
Barry.
it just
Yep.
came through the other day, so that's one thing, that's a good thing, so our Chapter 90 money is
Better.
growing
It's
Yes.
growing.
Should be
Thank
going
God,
the-
yeah.
other way, but
I'd just like a couple of comments. I can't be happier to tell you that Mechanic Street, the drainage on Mechanic Street, as we speak, is being fixed. That place that bleeds up, where the buses stop to let all those little kids for the daycare on? And there's no question that has been such a bane of my existence for years, with parents and kids and buses and it will be so nice to have that fixed and have that Mechanic Street. Mechanic Street has an institutional memory of 50 years of being the worst road ever, any place, anytime. And the fact that that is going to be part of the, Route 62 work that the state is going to do, we couldn't be happier about that. So I know it'll be inconvenient for the next probably 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks, but we should be heading in the right direction on that project, and we're very, very happy about that. Just to let you know that the Historical Commission and so forth have vetted signs, and we are staying with the sign that is at the library. The granite, the green and the gold and the wood is going to be, the Welcome to Barre sign is going to be replaced with that. There is not going to be an electronic sign yet. And then also the sign that's down on the Barre Plains Playground, which fell down in the wind the other day, I might add. So it's time, and that will be replaced, of course, much smaller, but similar to the Welcome to Barre sign. I know Norney Park already has some signs down there that are a little different, and we'll obviously talk with folks there if they would like to make adjustments or changes. It's not required or necessary, but we would like to make sure that everybody's happy with signage. I know you probably say, what's the big deal? It is a big deal. We haven't done anything in these areas for so long. The sign blew down in Barre Plains because it is absolutely rotted right through, and just kind of collapsed under a little wind, so we're very happy. The people who have been in Barre Plains have done a lot of things. There's a no flagpole down there, there's flowers, there's plantings, there's some hardscape that was put in, so that's been a real effort on, and it's been really through the grants from the Charitable Foundation for the most part, and so on. So just to let you know that we are really working on that. I'd just like to let you know, too, that within the next month, the Ruggles Lane and the Barre Library Association will be doing the flags on the common, on all of the poles across the common as well, working with the Legion on the Memorial Day exercises and so forth, which are always pretty fantastic, especially if we get a good day. So I've got the flags, I owe you money, and we know that the sound people are all set. Okay, so we're good with that. So we make good progress, and I know the 250th group has been sending us information and stuff, and they are, getting bands and so forth, all organized for their big day on September 21st, I believe. So we're really happy about all the good things that are, around us. I think we're gonna see the library has a lot of children's stuff going on the Common, on Saturdays over the next couple months, and so that will be really nice to see as well. Okay, correspondence, anything, Tammy, of consequence? Okay, that sounds good. Okay, public hearing, we're out, okay, outreach, regionalized municipal services. We're gonna have a brief discussion about that. We have, at least for the last 2 or 3 years, realized that in order to continue to have a strong and reasonable service delivery pattern in the towns, whether it be with the police, with the fire, with the ambulance, whatever, we're gonna have to regionalize. We're gonna have to think of ways to work with other towns in a cost-effective way in order to keep people working and keep the town having the services that they've become accustomed to. Mark, you want to make some comments on that? I know you've been talking about that.
Yeah, well, I haven't really, I haven't gotten into it very deep on, I'd like to follow some other communities, the details on how we do it, or how they, approached it, and, the advantages, disadvantages, and whatnot. So I haven't, I just think it's a great idea, and I'm just scratched the surface on it, pretty much.
Yeah, so I'll jump in too. I actually received an email from a select board member in Petersham where they're looking to also work on a facilities manager position
Good.
and wanted to know our interests. So I think realistically what we should do at this point is appoint someone on the board to go forward and having these discussions with other towns. Effectively a subcommittee, but one person because we're
Yeah.
a board of 3.
I would say that, obviously, I lived in a regional environment for a long time, and also participated in intergovernmental services agreements between 2 different regional school districts. I operated as the selectman of 2 different regional school districts, 40 miles apart. And we shared staff right across the central office during the worst of 2008, 2009, when we laid off a ton of people. And you probably are all sitting there saying, yeah, I bet you she really got a lot of money for that. I did not. I did not take 1 penny more. What happened was the secretary, my executive secretary, was working in North Middlesex at the time. Quabbin had lost the person who had replaced me, so they called and said, would you come back? I said, no, I can't really do that, because we were building another school in North Middlesex. And so they shared the superintendent, the executive secretary, and a curriculum person between the 2 districts. No one took 1 extra penny. Quabbin paid North Middlesex half of my salary, half of the administrative assistant salary, and half of the curriculum person. And we did that for 3 years. It was a long 3 years. However, we came through a very difficult time. And it was financially, 2008, 2009 were really tough years in the public sector. So at any rate, I've been there, I've done it, and I think that the biggest obstacle is local control. People get all nervous about, well, who's going to be in charge if there's a group of towns that have, this person being the head of the fire department or the safety building or whatever. And we see that it can work. We have a building inspector that's shared with 2 or 3 towns. We have an animal control officer that's shared. There's also a lot of grant opportunities called community compact grants. And a community compact grant will be easy to get because there aren't many towns wanting to step into this. We have to step into it or we will lose services in our town. There's no way we can compete unless we share some personnel and we share some territory. I certainly have had preliminary conversations with the chief. He looks at us like we're crazy people, but he, is very open to some discussion. We'll have to have those kinds of discussions with selectmen in the other towns. We already have some agreements with the town of Hardwick in ambulance services, so and Petersham is right on our doorstep, and I believe that OCAM may be another group that's sort of interested. So We should start there. Hubbardston is a little bit bigger situation. They tend to, they have a charter, it's, they do have a town charter, and they do have 5 selectmen and so forth. So I would suspect that they would probably be the least interested, but I could be wrong. So I'm happy to, do some preliminary work and report back to the, and I know Central Mass Regional Planning will be happy to help us with work on this. So, anyway, I think it's a great idea. It's a huge challenge, though. Nothing New England loves more than local control. We're the most parochial place in America.
Yep.
And it costs us a lot of money to be that. Aren't we?
Yep.
It's kind of jaw-dropping, actually. I can remember when the Quabbin Regional School District went from 7 through 12 to incorporate the elementaries, you would have thought we were taking their firstborn and they would never be returned to them. And then we said, do you know we don't even control the lunch menu? And they went, what? I said, you think you do, but Ruggles Lane has the same thing, the same hot dogs on Tuesday that they have, because it's standardized menus that come right out of the state. But anyway, that'll be fun to do. Not as much fun as the playground, but, so this time next year, maybe we'll have some real happenings, I hope.
Well, if you're saying you're up for doing that,
I sure am.
well, I
Absolutely.
I can tell.
I'll help.
Okay.
I would move to designate Maureen Marshall to enter into non-binding discussions with other municipalities regarding regionalization of services.
And that I will make, regular reports back to the committee.
Yep.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to appoint the chair to enter into non-binding discussions with local towns about the regionalization of, shall we say, fire, police, whatever.
Municipal services.
Municipal services. Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have a vote. Okay, inventory of all department, town property. Okay, creating an inventory of what's in this building, what's in the town hall, what's in DPW, what's at the fire department, so that we have a very clear understanding of, quite frankly, what we need to throw out. We have so much stuff in this building that's been tossed into like a room. And I mean, it's stuff that is of no use to the community, maybe some salvage for us, but, and we keep saying how we're gonna get the dumpster and do it, but we know without a proper inventory to try to be able to track things, we just can't say, well, we're throwing out this, throwing out that. There is a group of people that have accused me, not true, that when we moved the superintendent's office, that I threw away the New Braintree town records. Now, I don't believe that I did that. However, they are gone. We threw junk out of the 3rd floor window off the fire, thing into a dumpster when we cleaned out and moved. So it's really, really difficult to make sure that we have an accurate inventory. And I don't think we do now.
I mean, aside from getting rid of things, we also need to be working on keeping an updated inventory. One of the items we need to address coming up, Gaston Pond Dam. We need to put together an emergency action plan for that. That's something that was supposed to be updated every year. It was last updated in 2018. So we are, due for that, but that, includes knowing what our police, our DPW, our fire all have in various places for emergency response if the dam were to experience a failure. So we need to, begin working on that plan, and having a comprehensive inventory helps us to, facilitate updating that plan every year going forward.
And what it's
things along
gonna do
those
is it's
lines.
gonna really require a lot of work by department heads. I mean, because they are gonna be responsible for actually doing the counting and what is serviceable materials, what we need to have, and what needs to be, disposed of. Because there is a process that we have to follow to dispose of things. For example, say we have 3 tables that we don't want. We have to put them to public auction to the town and let the town come in, town members, citizens, and say, do you want this? and then people say, no, we don't even want that, then we can dispose of it after citizens say, it is really junk, you're right. And so on. So I know we have stuff around that we need to dispose of and/or properly store. We know that there are companies that can help us get started, and we think that there's probably a selectman that might be interested in helping out. Mark, you're going like that?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
definitely help, absolutely.
Um,
I think that, we should put, as far as the inventory, we should put it against the law, what, we know we have, spent a lot of time in the accountant's office, I look, see what we have for equipment and things like that. So, I have a list of what we do have, so we can put that with that, just to make sure that
Yeah.
everything checks and balances. I'd
Yeah.
like to make sure we have everything.
And there are companies that come in and put
Right.
barcodes on everything, you know, I mean.
That might be a good idea.
Well,
Is that
I-
something we do with ARPA money, or?
Well, you probably could do that with ARPA money, but I know that
Absolutely.
certainly the schools have, in Gadsby, whatever it is, we've had to do that like 10 years ago. And when you get a computer in your office, there's a barcode on it, and somebody comes in there, and they say, this is the one, it's Maureen's. And this is the one Maureen better turn in when she retires, this one. And, yeah, and I mean, so we're a long way from that. So we have some work to do, but it's another project that we're taking on and hopeful that within the next year or two, we'll have that completed, a perfect audit or a better audit, and a new playground, and hopefully maybe some regionalized services. That's our goal. I mean, it's a lot of work, but we're really excited about it.
Well, I'm happy to make it formal. I would move to designate Mark Reginas to represent the select board in moving forward with a town property inventory.
I second that.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made and seconded to, I did.
Yeah.
To appoint Mark to be person sort of leading the charge on that, and working with Tammy.
Yeah, we'll
Make-
try to
Yeah.
find some companies too.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Everybody's happy they came tonight. Okay, we have the FY '24 health insurance vote to take.
Did you want to do the town meeting warrant first?
Oh, I'm sorry, annual town meeting warrant, yes, we might have to open that. We're gonna open it effective, we're gonna open the annual town meeting warrant on 4/17/24, which is today, and it will close on 5/13/24 at 5 PM.
It's actually tomorrow it opens.
Wow,
Yep.
all day,
Half the night.
I know.
Is there a time we need to open that at tomorrow, or just opens?
So I would say 8 AM,
8 a.m.
start early.
and close at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
All right. I move to open the annual town meeting warrant, effective, open tomorrow, April 17th at 8 a.m., to close on May 13th at 5 p.m.
We have a motion,
Second?
we have a motion made and seconded to open the town meeting warrant at 8 AM on April 17th, and to close it on May 13th at 5 PM. Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now it's the FY '25 health insurance vote. Tammy, do you want to bring us up with numbers?
If I can remember. I know it's 2% for the select board, and,
Well, the select board did vote to
is it 2%?
authorize a change in the split, and in which the
Yes.
town pays and what the individual pays. Can you tell us what that split is?
So right now, I believe it's, I don't have it with me, 62, so it'd be 64-36 would be
Okay.
what you vote on.
So it's
it,
going to
right?
be 64-36 is going to be the new split.
Yeah,
I would tell you that we are still low, even at that big move of 2%, but we're moving in the right direction, and we will continue to be with the Blue Cross Blue Shield program that they currently have, so.
Hopefully it's enough to help out.
Well, I think the increase is about 8%, and the new,
What does that boil down to as far as the 36-64, as far as percentage? How much will it offset that?
that I don't
You
have
don't
all
know,
the,
yeah.
no, Jake went over that when he was
Yeah.
here, I didn't bring that stuff.
I mean,
with me.
health insurance is challenging for families, there's
It
no
is.
I
question
do know
about
it'll
it.
help the employees a lot, you know,
But, well,
Just that
it was
2%
after
each.
their, the Insurance Advisory Committee, this was their recommendation.
yes, yeah.
And we haven't moved the split in a very long time. And we are very low. I mean, it is not like giving away the ranch,
No.
so.
Typical 70, 30? Is that-
Usually, I believe 75, 25,
Wow.
so we are very low.
Well,
Tighten up the ship.
yeah. I think the school district's 65-35.
Really.
Used to be, anyway. Health insurance, so we're,
I believe we voted on the plan a couple meetings ago and then
Yes.
voted on the increase last time.
yeah,
So what are we voting on at this point?
yeah, I
Just,
think.
So I don't think we were 100% with the, we did get letters from the unions, so we
Okay.
just needed to vote on the
They-
2%.
Yeah, because they needed to change that in their contract, so they have done that and sent
Oh,
us
right.
letters.
We sent
Right,
us
we had
letters.
gotten a couple
Yes.
of the letters last time,
Yes.
so we need to vote to approve the 2%
Yes.
Yes.
change.
It's split.
Okay. I would move to approve the 2% increase in the town's share of the health insurance split, as previously discussed.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to increase the town's share of health insurance benefit by 2%. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Moving on. Special events application, the Lions Club Car Show. I know we have all the documents here. Reviewed those. And that is a September date of September 7th. And so those, can we have a motion?
I move to approve the use of town property for the Barre Lions Club for the car show, is that right?
Yes,
On Saturday, September 7th, 2024.
we have a motion. We have a second.
Second?
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the Lions Club request to hold their annual car show on Saturday, September 7th, 2024,
From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
9 a.m. till 4 p.m. Those in favor?
Aye.
Looks like a vote. Okay, boards and committees, we have requests of, we have some openings on the Council on Aging, and we have 3 individuals seeking to be appointed to that, I guess, position. We have Roger Courier, who was a former member of the board, the Council on Aging. We have Barry Allman, who has considerable experience in the Mass Lions Club Eye Research Fund, secretary of the Barry Lions Club, and a 35-year teacher of American history, so a person who's been around and done some things in our community. We have Brandy Pimentel, who has nothing in her area, she hasn't been on the Council on Aging, but she is a person of interest in it. And so we need 2 people to be appointed this evening. We tend to have positions on this, council open now and again, so we won't be able to appoint all 3, but we certainly will put somebody on the back burner tonight, so we're looking to appoint 2 individuals this evening.
So we have 2 open spots, Sandy, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know any of these individuals personally.
What's that, I'm sorry?
I just said I don't know any of these individuals personally, as far as,
Well, I certainly know Barry Allman, and I would certainly give strong recommendation to him, and Roger Courier. who I-
are any of the individuals here tonight?
Here, Roger,
Roger?
Roger, who's been on the council before, and so forth, so has that experience.
Yeah.
So I would certainly move to appoint Roger and Barry Allman, and to let Brandy Pimentel know that, she will keep her in an active file unless she lets us know differently about what may come along in the future, but I would recommend those 2 individuals to serve with our thanks.
Was that in the order they were applied?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. I'd second that.
We have a motion made and seconded to
I think we should take it individually.
appoint, okay, let's do Roger Courier, a former member of the Council on Aging, to fill the open position, one of the open positions.
I move to appoint Roger Courier to the Council on Aging.
We have a motion made and seconded to appoint Roger Courier to the one of the open positions on the Council of Aging. Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have, do we have a motion for the appointment of Barry Allman?
I move to appoint Barry Almond to the Council on Aging.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to appoint Barry Allman to another open position on the Council on Aging. Those in favor?
Aye.
That seems to fill the council's, at this point, the membership. And we will put Brandy Pimento
Yeah.
as, on a wait list.
I will.
If she,
Yep.
wants to do that at a later date, we can reconsider her name. Those individuals, you will let them know, you contact them, and, okay, we'll be all set. And I know that they have meetings and a new director of the center, and so lots of good stuff going on.
Is it
She
typical
started
for
today,
the
too.
council on aging to have alternate members?
I believe
There
they've,
was, I was gonna ask that, because I know
I
Dennis was,
believe they've had alternate members for numbers of years.
Is it still open, then you
I,
can fill it?
I think it'd be good to check what's in the town bylaw versus what's just past practice.
It was confusing because they kept
Right.
changing.
hmm,
Well, we can,
Just wondered.
we can let the Council on Aging tell us
Right.
what their plan is.
Okay.
And if that's something that's, fits within the town bylaws and she'd be interested in it, then I think, we can consider that at
Yeah.
a future meeting.
Dennis, were you an alternate member at one point? Okay, so it was like that before, okay. All right.
It's just a question of what was past practice and what is actually within the bylaws.
Okay, so we have a request by the 250th committee to approve a marching band. And that's $1,999, I believe, is the amount that would be under contract for these individuals to participate. McGann Marching Band from Rock Street, they're from Gardner, Mass. And that would be something that obviously we would need to approve and sign this preliminary contract in order to get those individuals here on the 21st of September, as recommended by the 250th committee. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the contract with the McGann Marching Band
Mm-hmm.
for $1,900.
$999. Oh, it's 1,900, I thought it said nine. Yeah, you're right, John. We have a motion, do we have a second? We have a motion made and seconded to approve the expenditure of $1,900 for the performance of a McGann Marching Band on the 21st of September 2024. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You've got those things for us to sign?
Yes, they're all.
Okay. Okay, we have a wage authorization for library assistants that I'll do first, and then I know that Sandy gave me a whole other sheet that I need to do. But we'll do those first. Pippa Monahan,
It would have been paper clips.
okay.
Yeah.
Pippa Monahan, library assistant, okay, step one. Step three, at $17.40 an hour. And Julia Palmer, library assistant, CL1, bachelor's, step three, at $17.65.
All right, I move to approve the wage authorization for Pippa Monahan for $17.40 an hour. And the wage authorization for Julia Palmer at $17.65 per hour.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the wage authorizations as recommended by the Barre Library Association for Pippa Monahan and Julia Palmer. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it looks like a vote. Okay, you're gonna have to give me just a second, because somebody handed me those other things that I gotta, okay, here we go. Got it. All right, it looks like in addition to those two library things, we are going to be finalizing the salary for Betty Jo O'Brien, who will be the director for the senior center, class 6, step 8, at $29.78 an hour.
I move to approve the wage authorization for Betty Jo O'Brien at $29.78 per hour.
You have a second?
Second.
Have a motion made and seconded to authorize the director of the senior center at a salary of $29.78 per hour. Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have, I'm glad you're here, chief, because you can explain this. We have Joshua Pease, a patrolman who will be moving to step 2, $26.24 per hour. And I have Joshua Pease, patrolman, going to step 3 for $27.01.
So his step increase, I think, is the 17th tomorrow, so we had to do one for up to that point.
Got it. Okay, so, we have a motion for that?
Two, okay. Yeah, should we take these one at a time then? Or is it better? can we
Well, I
take them
would
both
do
together?
Joshua by himself,
Yeah.
probably, because that's a little confusing.
All right, so I move to approve the wage authorization for Joshua Peace to $26.24 per hour, effective 7/1/2023, and the wage authorization for Joshua Peace to $27.01, effective April 19th of this year. No, of 2023. Okay.
I think we just have to understand that even though that contract
Wait,
has
that,
been,
that should be effective this year, right?
I believe that should.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it's 24, right? Yeah, okay.
I'll just look at the wage authorization.
Yeah, so the first authorization is effective, July 1st of last year.
yeah, 23.
The second one here to 2701 is effective of the 19th of this month. Yes, okay.
The only concern, understanding that financially, you're going to be working with payroll, because if we're going to do a retro for people, it'll be a little confusing for payroll. Everything will have to work itself out.
Yeah.
You submitted all the numbers.
We did,
Okay,
and
so you're good.
me and Janine
Okay.
worked together today on it,
Oh,
so.
perfect, okay.
I'm assuming this is a result of the now finalized
The
negotiations
ratified
with the
contract.
police
Yep.
contract,
Um,
police union.
It all equaled out.
You made the motion?
Oh, yep.
And you seconded. We have a motion made and seconded to change the Joshua Pease patrolman, step 2, effective $26.24, effective on 7/1/23, and then Joshua Pease, step 3, $24.01, effective April 19th. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We have 2 sergeants, Russell Davidson and Cody Chick, to be moving to the sergeant step at $34.91 an hour. Do you want to do those separately?
So Tim, these ones should be 23,
Yeah.
right? Because they're retro. Okay.
Yes.
So the rest of them are correct.
And
Yeah, we can go through. So, I move to approve the wage authorization for Russell Davidson as a sergeant effective July 1st of 2023 to $34.91 per hour.
Second.
motion made and seconded to approve Russell Davidson sergeant to $34.91 per hour, effective 7/1/23. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move to approve the wage authorization for Cody Chick, effective July 1st of 2023 to $34.91 per hour.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the wage authorization for Cody Chick, going to sergeant, $34.91, effective 7/1/23. Those in favor?
Aye.
And Robert Brooks, detective, step 3, to a wage of $32.13 per hour.
I move to approve the wage authorization for Robert Brooks, effective July 1st of 2023 to $32.13 per hour.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded for the step movement for Robert Brooks to detective, step 3, at $32.13 per hour, effective 7/1/23. Those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, so let's keep on moving here now. We've got Ryan Walsh, patrolman, step 2.
I move to approve the wage authorization for Ryan Walsh, effective July 1st, 2023 to $26.24 per hour.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the wage adjustment to step, for Patrolman Ryan Walsh to step 2, $26.24 per hour, effective 7/1/23. Those in favor?
Aye.
Zachary Warner.
I move to approve the wage authorization for Zachary Warner, effective July 1st, 2023, to $26.24 per hour.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the wage adjustment for Zachary Warner, patrolman to step 2, $26.24, effective 7/1/23. Those in favor?
Aye.
Moving from Dylan Foss, patrolman Foss.
I move to approve the wage authorization for Dylan Force to $26.24, effective July 1st, 2023.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the wage adjustment for Dylan Foss, patrolman, step 2, $26.24, effective 7/1/23. Those in favor?
Aye.
Tyler Hosley.
I move to approve the wage authorization for Tyler Hosley to $22.94 per hour, effective 10/2/2023.
7.
10-2. Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to adjust Tyler Hosley's wage for patrolman step 1 at $22.94, effective 7/1/23. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
10, sorry,
I'm sorry?
you said 7/1/23.
Oh, I'm
in
sorry.
there. But it was, so it was actually his start date, so that's why it's going back to
Yeah.
that from the years on here. Yeah,
Okay.
so for 10/2/2023, aye.
Okay. I think that does it for wage adjustments. That should take care of we should get that retro out to them pretty quickly. Old business, 9/11 Memorial Development Committee, discuss ARPA funding. Do you keep changing the pictures, or am I just losing my mind? It is? Okay.
It's the same layout.
It looked different to me than it did last time.
I don't think there was a person in it last time.
Okay, so is the price going up?
A little bit.
Little?
Oh,
Yeah, a little.
okay, so you were looking for 33 last time, no?
38?
37.5,
37.5, okay.
and we met, the committee met this past week and hashed over everything.
Okay,
Because we want this to be the final. And we have to take into consideration the paver bricks being put in, the site work cleanup after everything is done, setting the stones, possibly having to pay for the items to be delivered. It's not etched in stone, no pun intended, that the DPW will be able to go and get them. We requested the costs of the items individually and the weights of them individually, and it should be in that
Yeah.
packet that Sandy was nice enough to
Yep.
print out
Yep.
for us. It shows what everything weighs and what they cost. So with adding the other items, it would come out to 44,000 total.
The number 37.5 that was given to you guys before was for the granite components only, just the components.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be some setting in place, some disturbing of the lawn area that'll have to be fixed, and possible transportation if DPW can assist us
So
because
the,
of what they have going on this year.
so the 44,000 assumes that it's delivered? And that amount could go down if DPW couldn't deliver it instead?
It would go down,
Okay.
Possibly,
But that's the higher number is what's in here, is assuming that it's,
I think
A delivery
the
cost.
delivery fee was 1,500. Yeah, the delivery fee was 1,500.
all I gotta say,
Okay.
this thing isn't ever gonna move.
I think that's the plan.
Yeah, well, I know, but wow. It's heavy.
In the event that we didn't use all 44,000.
Yep.
We would be happy to, not to speak for Dennis, but there's talk of a first responders 9/11 memorial in the future.
Mhm.
And it could go towards that
Yep.
memorial, or return back to the town.
I think if we're using ARPA funds, I'm not sure how
Yeah.
that would work
Yeah. I don't think-
necessarily.
yeah.
If it came from ARPA funds, those need to be expended by a certain date.
Yeah,
Well,
But,
also with the Barre Savings Charitable Foundation,
mhm.
that funding could go, it goes into the town coffers, as does
Yeah.
the paper bricks, everything goes through the town's
right.
finances.
Mhm.
Anything left in that account could be used for the other.
Mm.
So I just wanted to mention to everybody that we got 3 bids. And then you learn something interesting about the stone business. That the quarries, basically all the major quarries in America are owned by like 8 families. It's like the railroad.
Mm.
I believe it.
So when we called around and looking for estimates, called 2 different companies. Turns out when you go up far enough, they're one company. And that company didn't even give us a breakdown
Mhm.
because they didn't have one, because they just made up a number for $50,000.
Yeah,
Another company, Merrimack, was in the same ballpark, but we found a newer company that isn't the quarry owner itself that gave us a much lower cost.
and you know what they do? They sign a non-disclosure agreement when we ask for the price.
Do they?
Yeah, they have to. Public bid has to have a disclosure whether you're running a school bus or buying granite.
So it's
So they lie.
37.5 was a significant improvement over the first bid that we got for
Yeah.
59,000.
Okay, so the Charitable Foundation has looked at it and said, let's see what the town's gonna do. Okay. Gentlemen? I'll throw out a number, how about we do 28? Can we do 28? What does that leave, what is that? That leaves the Charitable Foundation with what?
16.
Think it's doable?
That's it,
Okay.
that's the.
I would
bottom line.
entertain a motion for
Hopefully
20.
it's the last mine we have to put in common.
I'm sorry?
Hopefully it's the last memorial we'll have to put in the common.
Well, you can't fit many more.
You know?
And if I may.
You
that
may.
Memorial is a learning tool.
Yeah.
For future generations. It's all self-explanatory. Jason's spent hours on, even the heights of the letters are within ADA compliancy,
Good job.
which are, you have to do.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Explaining what each kiosk is, and you could have the elementary kids come down and walk through with maybe somebody from the Legion or.
What do you think,
somebody
what do you
from
think
town.
with the money, when do you think, I know that the Charitable Foundation doesn't meet again till June.
That puts us on a very tight schedule.
Okay,
For
well, I mean,
September.
I'm not saying they can't meet at another time, that would be something that, we could see what the schedule might
Well,
be.
in order to go forward, this company requests half.
Also,
To start.
just to mention, they would do it all at once, so the price didn't include doing portions of it and then some
Mhm.
later, so the 37.5 core cost has to be what we kind of have in order to make the order.
Like yesterday.
Well, if we were to place the order for them to start working on it, if we gave them half, but didn't have the other half, we better find the other half before they're done. So I
Yeah, that's
prefer to have
a tricky situation.
the
That's a,
37.5 in pocket. We can worry about how to get it up here
mhm,
and the ancillary costs after, like that we can figure out. But
Yes.
mhm.
I just want to point out that that's part of the deal. That
Yeah, so
So-
we really can't order it until there's 37.5 ready to go, or it puts a liability on the town.
Yeah, or real close.
Yeah.
And if there's concerns about not spending all the ARPA funds, we could
Oh, there's no
Guarantee you
concern
we
about
spend
not spending all the
37.
ARPA funds.
I just meant that it can't be moved to another project in a couple of
Right.
years.
Right.
It would go
What's
towards,
the
you
deficit,
know.
guys? I'm sorry, I wasn't following the math, so,
The deficit would be 16,000 if we did 28.
and then we.
And so it,
Well,
well, that's out of the 44,
yeah, right.
not out of the 37. It would be 11.5 out of the 37 would be the deficit.
And then the other potential funding was the
charitable foundation,
charitable foundation. Any ideas with that?
Yeah, is there any talk on that?
I don't know. I know that you and I can find out if there's gonna be support for that.
I know we're gonna ask
I
for
heard,
11,000.
I heard, I don't wanna talk out of turn.
Right, I understand. I know that they don't have another official meeting scheduled until June. However, that doesn't mean that they can't have,
Tentatively, so we can, otherwise we're gonna.
well, yeah, well, we have to do, either the town has to just do it.
And then they're running back from that.
Well, I don't know if we could do that, but, I mean, we might just have to bite the bullet and do it.
Is
I mean,
the
if we-
ARPA funds are kind of getting.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. There's never a meeting that we have that somebody isn't here looking for $25,000 to fix all the sewer manholes on 122.
Oh, yeah.
We had to do it, right? I mean, we have to fix them. The state's coming in. So, yeah, so that was a surprise. Now, people would say, take it out of the enterprise. What I think we try to do is we say in our heads, okay, what have we done for highway? So we say, oh, we've done a truck, we've done this, whatever. So what have we done for this group? So we're trying to do stuff for each group. So we get to the point where, you know, we wanted to do something for the kids, right? So we said, we're gonna do a playground finally in this town. We're gonna actually have a village playground. So we're doing that for them. And so we've given, you know, a lot of chunks. And, you know, everybody comes already still thinking we have the $1.6 million. Well, we don't. That's, you know, not even contemplated, but we can do the 37.5. That would leave,
Wait a minute.
and then because I would like to do benches for the commons that are, because they're just in such terrible disrepair.
Mhm.
So, you know, we'd put 2 or 3 on North Common, we'd rip up the old ones that are just falling apart in other parts of the common to try, and I'm trying to talk the charitable foundation into maybe donating the benches, and they could put a plaque saying, these are the, you know.
Like the ones out there have plaques on them.
Yeah, but, you know, because they're not much nicer now, they don't make them out of wood, this all that plastic
Well,
stuff,
the
and they last for a
Department
while.
of Corrections makes nice,
Yeah.
with their industries department, make real nice benches.
Well, I think that we've called them on a couple of things, and they make like, they don't do that anymore, so we'll have to check it out, yeah. Well, we'd
So-
like them for the 21st of September, you know, so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, you've heard the song, you've heard the dance.
Here's,
I
yeah,
just wanna
let me
get
give,
back to it, just
Yeah.
for the record, and you guys already know this, but the Legion has collected and spent to get what we have out there now, about $15,000, give or take some. And the donations of the stone that's out there is of almost equal value. And so we've got between $25,000 and $30,000 worth of
Mhm.
the project completed due to the diligence of, and the belief and hope of the Legion. And that's not considering what I believe amounts to hundreds of hours
Of work.
between people volunteering their professional time, and Michael
And your
Leonard.
time.
Yeah, I was including in there. Michael Leonard, I was thinking of, and, you know,
Yeah.
the rest of these guys here. So anyway, I just wanted to say that.
No, I
so
mean,
you, yeah,
Came
I
at
can
no
give,
expense to the town,
Yeah.
to this point.
right, we haven't put anything into it. So what I would say in this case, I think if we could put forward out of ARPA the 37.5, and then seek from the Barre Charitable Foundation a $10,000 assistance with this, 6,500 of it to finish the cost for the 44,000, the other 3,500 for benches and other improvements around the common as a whole to you know, bring it up to a nice standard for the whole common for all of
Is
the
that a motion, sir?
memorials there. So yeah, I will move to authorize 37,500. I was about to add an extra zero on there. Hang on. Oh no, I was about to say. I I was about to say 375,000, so I was about to go way over on that. $37,500 from ARPA spending from ARPA funds for the 9/11 committee for the monument.
We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to expend the amount of $37,500 of ARPA funding to complete the 9/11 Memorial Monument.
Thank you very much.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Thank you on behalf of everyone, but I would like to say thank you to Sandy Hood over there, who's done a lot of work for us.
She's done a lot of work for all of us in this transition, and Tammy, I mean, right, can we
Yes,
say enough good
absolutely.
things about Sandy?
Absolutely.
You look a little tired, girl, but you know why.
Tell her every day.
Yeah.
And I want to publicly thank our committee. Bill O'Donnell couldn't be on tonight, but, you know, through all of this, since we started the implementation of this, these guys have all met numerous
Oh.
times. And through COVID, everything else, and they're still here.
Mhm.
So, thank you very much.
We appreciate all the work you guys have done putting
Are you-
I think you could do a
into
little
this.
better. I saw what you could do with an old boulder, making a cow out of an old boulder, a couple old boulders.
I love that thing. I think anything I really like.
It's good.
That was a big lift, huh?
Oh, yeah. Almost cost me my finger.
Ooh, ooh,
Thank you.
you're very welcome.
We-
Hey,
Very good news.
Thank you very much.
one thing, do you think for the 21st of September you'll be done?
I hope
It seems very
September
reasonable.
11th.
Well, just it'll be great to have that comment.
Wishes for the 11th.
To start
Well, yeah,
the-
but I'm,
But for-
yeah, yeah, just
Yeah.
because,
To start the stone wall, they need 50%.
3-month turnover
Three,
Yep.
and half
takes
of
3
the
months.
Sounds.
Let's
So
get it
we'd like to
started.
Get it going
Yep.
now.
well,
Yep.
we got the money.
So I could, you wanna call them?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll talk with Senator Brewer about the charitable foundation and trying to, fix, I'm sure you'll talk with him. You'll find him. I thought you would.
And I assume the bids that we have is enough for any procurement issues, that,
You have the bids, yep.
all of that, okay, awesome.
So I made a request to them earlier for a shorter amount, because I had some verbal input that there was a cap on what they would give to any one project.
Mhm.
Would you kind of modify that application for me?
Oh, do you
You're on
want-
that pan, aren't you?
Oh, yes, I am. So you want me to go dig back into the grant application and,
2 months ago?
and scratch it out and put some new number in? I can do that.
White out.
Maybe you make Mike do it.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
No,
Thank you.
thank you guys so much, and
Thanks for all the work you guys are doing,
don't forget,
appreciate it.
Maureen's benches.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for all the work you've done.
Good to see you.
I'm gonna thank you too. I'm Jason.
Nice to meet you,
He's
Jason.
Jason, he's a great guy.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you,
Be cool, give blood. Thank you so much, sir.
thank you.
Hey, nobody ever says thank you and shakes our hands at a Selectmen's meeting, so this is really special.
Well, there's a lot of gratitude in
A
the
lot of special.
For what
No.
it's worth, you guys, I used to run the Office of Dam Maintenance for the DCR,
Yeah,
and I helped
Your jungle
actually establish the Office of Dam Safety for them.
uh-huh,
Oh, okay.
So if you need any advice
we do.
Yes.
on any of those 3 dam things that you
We do.
mentioned, just somebody contact me and I'll
See
be
you, Jim.
glad to meet with you guys.
Thank
and
you.
give you my,
You know the Gaston Pond one,
of course, yeah.
where that is located, and the other one up there is much more, shall we say, politically interesting to most, to some
That's where
people.
we're gonna need a little more
Yeah.
assistance.
Yeah.
The Gaston Pond one, we actually, we are now officially the owners, because they have that new, the Office of Dam Safety now wants all dams registered with
Somebody.
so,
Yeah, I know.
we
Bill
officially
Stallman,
have
I
that
worked together for a
registered
very long
now,
time,
so, yeah.
And he is very, very detailed
On
driven
that,
for that, yeah.
yeah.
He's very, and they're overly cautious. And,
Mhm. Well, I guess that's a good thing.
yeah, so I can go ahead and advise like who we use, who the cheapest guys are, who's the ones that fit with them the best.
Perfect.
Great.
Okay, thanks.
I'll wait
Yeah,
to hear.
Bye-bye.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Courier. Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Okay, bye-bye.
Roger, bye.
All right, is that the
Okay.
last thing on the agenda? Unless there's anything else, I move to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to adjourn. Those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I always wanna say aye.
Huh?
Aye.
You can jump in there. It doesn't count, but you can
I
jump
know, I
in.
know, whatever. It's just like he's thinking.
Okay, are we off now?
No, we're not.
Video off?
Assuming everything's
To play it safe.
She's the one that I went down there and I talked to Sue, and she was down there, and Carol said that I went, and I said I was gonna call the police on them and all that stuff, and it was like, I was spinning things around, you know, it was like, all I said was, I said.
Or was that Sandy, or did you need us to sign?
In the past,
Yeah, we've got stuff, she's gonna give us to sign.
I said,